Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the embryological development of the thyroid gland. A very high yield concept and clinically relevant topic also. So now let's start with the basic overview. The thyroid gland begins to develop during the first trimester of pregnancy. It arises from a fusion of two distinct embryological sources. The first one is the median thyroid unlager and the two lateral thyroid unlagers, also known as ultimobranchial bodies. So let me explain what each of these gives rise to. First, the median thyroid unlager develops from the midline endoderm of the primitive pharynx. This is the structure that gives rise to follicular cells. And remember, follicular cells are the ones that produces the thyroid hormone T3 and T4. Next, the lateral thyroid unlagers comes from the fourth pharyngeal pouch. These eventually fuse with the median unlager and they form the parafollicular C cells. So these are the cells that secrete calcitonin, which is involved in calcium regulation. So to summarize this particular part, we can say that follicular cells comes from median unlager and C cell come from lateral unlager or ultimobranchial body. Now let's talk about the thyroid diverticulum. This is the first visible precursor of the thyroid gland. It appears as an outpouching at the base of the tongue, specifically the foramen cecum, a small depression found at the midline of the tongue. From there, thyroid begins to descend down to the neck, forming a tubular connection known as thyroglossal duct. So eventually, thyroid reaches to its final position, that is anterior to the trachea, around the level of the second and third tracheal rings. Now, ideally, after descent is complete, the thyroglossal duct involutes, that means it disappears. However, in 50% of the people, a small remnant of the duct persists, and this remnant may present as a pyramidal lobe, which is just a small extension of the extrapyramidal tissue, and it's typically asymptomatic and absolutely harmless. So, all right, now let's shift to the clinical anomalies related to the thyroid development. The first and most common is the thyroglossal duct cyst. This happens when the thyroglossal duct fails to completely regress. It results in a midline neck mass, usually painless, and very importantly, it moves upwards when the patient swallows or stick out the tongue. So why does it move? Because it is attached to the tongue via foramen cecum. This is the most common congenital neck mass you will encounter, most commonly we can say. So another important anomaly is the lingual thyroid. So this occurs when the thyroid gland fails to descend from the foramen cecum. As a result, thyroid tissue remains at the base of the tongue itself. This is known as lingual thyroid. So, and here the important part is, in some of the individuals, this lingual thyroid is the only functioning thyroid tissue they have. So, if it is removed, for example, by mistake during surgery, the person may become absolutely hypothyroid. And finally, we have the ectopic thyroid tissue. This refers to a thyroid tissue that is found along the path of the descent, such as near the hyoid bone or even down into the mediastinum also. So ectopic thyroid tissue is usually harmless, but it can be occasionally be only thyroid tissue present, or it can be confused with a tumor, especially on imaging. So always remember that before removing any suspected ectopic thyroid tissue, make sure there is a normally located functional thyroid gland. Otherwise, you will remove completely functional gland mistakenly, right? So let's quickly review few rapid fire points over here. So median thyroid unlager produces follicular cells. Lateral thyroid unlager gives parafollicular cells. Thyroid diverticulum forms at foramen cecum. Thyroglossal duct guides descent, normally disappears. Failure to descend, lingual thyroid. failure to obliterate dirt, thyroglossal duct cyst. Ectopic thyroid, along descent path, can be only functioning tissue. So all these are the important high points what you need to know about embryology as well as few clinical aspects of the thyroid gland.